Hi guys, welcome to the channel. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Sam Clift, the artist behind Samantha Clift Art, and I thought I'd just do this quick Q&A so that you could ask me some questions and we could get to know each other and you could get to know me. So I went over to Instagram and Facebook and asked if you could write in the comments any questions that you wanted to know, so we'll just get right into that. So I had a lot of questions about the pencils that I use. The main pencils that I really like, and the first set that I bought, I actually bought the 36, so I think there's 120 altogether, but I bought the small box just to try them out and see if I like them. So they're the Faber-Castell Polychromos. I don't know if you can see them. They're my favourite for detail. They're oil-based, they're really hard. You can get them to a really sharp point and they keep it really well. So great for detail, great for the pet portrait work. And I use those most of all. The pigment's fantastic, lots of really brilliant colours. And then the second set of pencils that I bought are the Caran d'Ache Luminance pencils. These are actually wax-based and really great for blending. And they've got some really lovely neutral tones. So again, really good for pet portraits, animal fur. And also recently I've been trying out skin on human portraits, so they are absolutely fantastic for that. So really good at getting smooth skin, blending out. So those are the two pencils that I use. I have heard about Pablo's, which are a mix between the two. I think they're Caran d'Ache. So they are probably going to be my next big purchase. But the Polychromos are quite expensive, but less expensive than the Caran d'Ache. You can get them open stock, which is great. You don't have to buy the whole set, so you can choose the colours that you need. Same with Caran d'Ache. If you go to the coloured pencil shop online, they're fantastic. You get a really good deal there. So that's the pencils that I use. The paper that I use is the Bristol Board Vellum, and I use the vellum because it's not as smooth and you can get some really good layers in with your coloured pencils, which is really important. I'll link all the materials in the description box below so you can have a look at which ones I use. So the next question is, what kind of pencils do you use? How many years are you already drawing? That's a good question actually. I probably have drawn all my life. I'm 38 now, so it's quite a few years. I always used to copy the videos at the time, Disney videos, so the Little Mermaid, and I used to make my mum calendars every year of different things. I also had this really lovely book and it was Aesop's Fables, and the illustrations were just beautiful, and I used to try and copy them as close as I could, so really great animal work and that kind of thing. I'll probably try and dig some of those out at some point. So the first thing to do was really kind of copy what I saw. The Disney ones are a really great place to start because it's actually quite a small number of lines that make up the form. So I probably recommend starting there, and then just really keep practicing. So I've always probably liked realism, trying to get something to look as close to the photo or the thing that I'm drawing as close to as possible, getting all the details in. So I've always done that. So I've probably drawn as all my life. I can't really remember not ever drawing, but recently I've got two young children. They are 5 and 3, and during that time when they were born there was quite a period of time which I didn't draw at all. I didn't pick up the paintbrush or the pencil. There was no time at all. So in the last couple of years I've really felt like I've needed that kind of creativity, or that outlet of creativity. So I've started again when my daughter was probably about a year old, and I just started painting again with acrylics and was drawing kind of symbolic Elvis, Marilyn Monroe, Audrey Hepburn, that kind of thing. And I dabbled with the idea of starting a business. So that was in May 2017. And I officially started my business in September of 2017. So I bought my first set of colour pencils, and I actually bought, so to begin with I bought some Caran d'Ache water-based pencils because I didn't have any idea what I was buying or actually what I wanted to create. So I went into a local art shop and he recommended them, and they are great, but obviously they don't get the same level of detail. And I think I only bought 12, which is quite a limited colour palette, but I drew my first colour pencil drawing of a kingfisher. I'll show you, I'll put that picture up. And I just fell in love. I just fell in love with the pencils. I fell in love with the process. I really needed something with the kind of hectic life with the kids. I needed something that I could sit down and just concentrate on what I was doing, and just everything else would kind of fade out and I could really focus on something. I'm not a patient person naturally, so this was something that really forced me to be patient, and I'm so thankful for it. I think it balances me in life. So I fell in love, and since September 2017 I have drawn every day, or almost every day, mainly with colour pencils, dabbling a little bit with oils, a bit watercolour, graphite, but I do my commissions, my pet portraits in colour pencil. So yeah, I just absolutely love them. What's the next question? How do you get such great expression in your drawing? Is it the reference, or do you add to the drawing? I've got to say it's probably 90% the reference photo. Really important that you get a good reference. And I think as you get more experience, you start to look for what would make a really good portrait end product. So you start looking for certain details, a really good pose. When I'm doing pet portrait commissions, a lot of the time I say to the client that the pose is really important. So think about the pose that you want to get, the kind of composition, and then I can always grab details from different photos. So if they send a few in, I can pick out the details from the other photos, but the pose is really important because that's going to be the final portrait, so the final composition. So that's really important. So with the expression, I would say that kind of goes hand in hand. We look for the best looking reference photo. It's really funny though, because as I've looked at more artists and I've had a look on Instagram and some of the amazing artists that are out there, sometimes you come across a few artists that have used the same reference photo, and even though they've used exactly the same materials, paper, their styles are so different and they can be completely different, and I just find that amazing and fascinating. So everyone's got their own style, and it's really great to see that, because probably 90% the reference photo and then 10% is my style that I've kind of developed over the years. Just lots of trial and error and that kind of thing, and it's just kind of how it turns out for me. Sometimes I'm happy with it, sometimes not so much, but yeah, all practice and time. Okay, so the next question, I'd love to know the barriers you faced when you first started and how you overcame them. That's a really good question. I think the main barrier that I faced is fear and self-confidence. So you're putting your work out there for the world to see, Instagram and Facebook. You've got a massive platform. Friends and family are one thing, because you want them to be kind of proud of you, but you're also putting yourself out to complete strangers that don't know you personally and have the ability to kind of say what they like. So I was worried that people were going to not like my work, and also, was it good enough, really? Because there's so many brilliant artists out there, and you do tend to compare yourself, which is really not healthy, but you do, and I did wonder if I was good enough to do it. The other thing I think is to keep yourself motivated. So you are your own boss. You don't have any boss telling you that you need to work a certain amount of hours per day. You do have deadlines with commissions, so that's good. It kind of keeps things in a routine, but you don't have somebody telling you that you need to work. So you need to motivate yourself, and sometimes things aren't going very well, and it can be quite disheartening, and it's finding that kind of energy to keep going even if you don't really feel like it. So what I've tended to do especially at the beginning, is to try and draw every day, even if it's just for 10 minutes. It just keeps your kind of momentum going so that you don't stop. It's a bit like any habit. If you keep going, I think it takes something like 21 days for a habit to form. So if you keep going, then you don't have that kind of break, and then it's harder to kind of get going again. You're kind of keeping the momentum going and trying to keep yourself motivated. So I think, yeah, those two are the main barriers. How I overcome them, it's still there a little bit, but I'm working on it every day, and yeah, just keep going. How many years have you been drawing? I think I kind of answered that. So officially, professionally, almost 2 years, but probably as long as I can remember, really. I'm dreaming of making art into my daily work job. Is that possible? Yes, completely. I have 2 small children, as I said, so I'm a full-time mum. I also have another business. I'm a therapist, so I do that as well as my art. But yeah, there are so many artists out there that are doing this full time, and hopefully that might be me one day. Yeah, if it's a dream, you've just got to work really hard and keep going, and hard work will pay off, definitely. If there are any questions that I've left out, then please leave them in the comments below, and I can do one of these Q&As soon, another Q&A soon, if there's anything I've missed out. If you did enjoy this video, it'd be great if you could like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye!